I think nowadays most of us have realized that governments don't have our best interest. We are being told that there is a virus going around the world, but we don't know for sure. We haven't seen people really affected by it. That doesn't mean that the virus is not going around. We haven't had the virus ourselves. That doesn't mean that the virus wasn't created for a purpose also. There's a lot of things going on. Well, I have been studying how to better my health for a long time. I have also been studying how to develop a way how to create my own reality in this world. And for those of you that are looking for these powers, they are there. These beings we see here on this depiction had larger heads than usual. No, they were not deformed. And no, they were not entirely human. This is why they were pharaohs, leaders of Egypt, because most likely they had abilities that were superior to those people from that time. I think if you end up having about 2.5 the size of the brain when compared to the size of the brain of a modern human, you ought to be able to do a lot more than an average human. Look at the sun. The sun is like extending his hands or her hands into the pharaohs. I was very curious about this because I almost felt like there was a message being sent to us. The sun is not your enemy. The sun will not give you cancer. Overexposure to the rays might be harmful. We have heard that it's harmful. I would stay away from overexposure. But sun gazing, it's very important. I had a dream last night. I was told about the gods. The gods people used to call gods, like Zeus, and we have Thor, and we have so many, right? I was told that they were travelers from advanced civilizations, beings that have power and that are here most of the time to help us. Our world is called El. Yes, some people call it hell, but the right pronunciation is El. That's why you see E-L and you see L-E. Because this world, everything is done backwards and forwards. In order to know the meaning of something, one must read from left to right and right to left. How is your health, right? We have heard that. Or help. When you need to communicate with somebody, you need to use a telephone. So L is being used all the time. The leaders or the singers the people who are in the spotlight usually have a name that ends in L or refers to our world. What I was told yesterday is that to communicate with one of these beings, to be aided, you don't communicate because you are praying to a god. You communicate with them because them are you. We are one, and this is very important. So you have to learn to speak to your higher self. You have to learn the keywords. And so to call on the name of one of these beings is very important and very powerful. How do you make a phone call if you don't have a device? Well, you bow down. I don't know why. It is to do something with energy. And you lift your hands up and you touch your forehead all the way to the ground, almost like a religion that prays to nobody. But in this case, you are making a phone call. You sun gaze and you lift your hands up to the sun, not because the sun is God, because the sun is you. You sun gaze 1 hour before sunset or 1 hour after, within like a sunrise. Don't stare into the sun too long. Listen to your body. If your eyes are starting to hurt, close them. Don't think that you are not sun gazing when your eyes are closed. You are still communicating with the sun. Talk about your intent. What is your intent? Your intent is to better this world, to expose the governments who are lying to us or that are taking innocent people into jails, or they are giving us vaccines that actually don't help us, or they have financial systems that benefit only those who are friends to the system and not the rest of us. Healthcare systems that are made to benefit those who own the systems, but not to cure those who are ill. The list goes on, but it is up to us to gain these powers. The same powers that they work so hard at telling us that don't exist. But look at these beings, look at the pharaohs. You can see how they raised, in other hieroglyphics, you can see how they raised their hands unto the sun. Not because they were worshipping the sun. These were very smart beings that were claiming their powers. The sun holds your powers. Like I said earlier, I've been looking to control my weight. And I started sun gazing because I thought, well, maybe I noticed that during the summer I tend to eat less. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go into the sun now that the sun has come out. And I started a little bit of sun gazing with my eyes closed and a little bit looking down below the sun because I don't want my eyes to be to hurt or anything like that. And I started noticing that I wasn't so hungry. And I thought, this is very strange. I'm getting less hungry. Can it be that the sun is feeding me? Can it be that in some way I am not only just as a cow that eats some vegetables or as a lion that eats meat? And by the way, eating meat, there's nothing wrong with that. We live in this world and this is the way it is right now. So I eat meat, I eat a few vegetables, and all of a sudden I start eating the sun. And I didn't need to eat too much anymore. It was fantastic. I've been doing this for the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I've gone down in weight. I almost have a 6-pack now. I am full, eating one small meal per day. This is really amazing. How can you explain that I am honestly not as hungry as I used to be? My memory has increased so that I can remember things better. I am coming up with certain thoughts I hadn't had before. You can call it imagination or you can call it revelations. Like I have said in previous videos, there are many lies and there is not just one truth. There is also not just one perfect place or one heaven. One heaven fits all does not fit our story. What is a man's heaven is another man's nightmare. We are here to create different places according to our will. And we are here looking for the exit of this world. Most likely this exit is at the North Pole. Remember, whatever you do it for the benefit of one and not for the benefit of all. You can watch previous videos to understand why and who is one. There's a lot in the words we use. Remember, we learned how to spell when we went to grammar school or grimoire school. Now it is time to learn the meaning of what you say. Love to all.